2016 to order. First thing on the agenda is public comment. This is anybody who would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda, feel free to comment. Not hearing any, I will close the public comment. 2 is approval of the meeting minutes of January 5th, 2016.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Well, yep,
Do I have a second?
that with some small revisions.
Okay. I have a second. Any questions, comments?
That on page 3, which is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom, that one of the, if you wanted to, at your discretion, you could put mosquito bite in quotation marks. Mosquito bite sources of revenue, the town overlooks or is it, but just the mosquito bite, it's a small fee, but eventually they add up for revenue for the town. I wasn't sure, did Dana thank us or did we thank her for doing the research and considering the changes?
I thanked you.
You thanked us, oh,
Yeah.
okay. That, on page 2, one third line from the top, that the way Mr. Frizzell worked things through one step at a time, elegant plan. Brown also noted that with his own warts, he still objected that back in 1999, that there was no vegetation. Just that it's not clear what my warts are, which is my personal view, that it was in doubt. I will pass that to you if you could change that.
Okay, that's how you said it, though.
That the quotation marks don't always show on paper the way they show in the way a voice moves up and down, slows and goes faster.
Okay.
As you wish.
Any more comments? Not hearing any. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Next is the master plan update. The next 2 are master plan update and CIP discussion. Just to let the board know, I was in contact with Bruce Woodruff this week, and he's agreed to help us with our master plan and our CIP program, which I think would be really good because he's done a number of them. He's been with the town of Milton for quite some time. He is a planner. And the price is real reasonable. Just to let everybody know, if there's any comments on that, whether they'd like to see it or not, I need to know, because I made contact and he's agreed to help us if we want it.
I think it's a good idea.
That I known Bruce for several years, back when he was working for Dover, and we served together when we were participating in the Regional Planning Commission. I also followed him when he went up to Milton Borough. He is clear and direct and useful.
So, sir.
You're probably already aware, but the Conservation Commission is contracted with someone to help with the Natural Resource Index as well.
That's
Which
fine.
is what we were doing in the room right before.
Yep.
So I figured you were probably already aware of it, but
Yep.
Tim volunteered to sit on the board and work through that with you. Right?
Yes, we did.
That's what I saw.
I think it was unanimous.
and from the brief experience we've had, it does really help to have someone with professional experience helping.
So what approach are we gonna take next? Are we gonna wait for Bruce? Are we gonna start ahead of Bruce, or?
Well, we can discuss what we'd like to tonight. His schedule is, he works Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but he said he's available to us at any time. And I've possibly invite him for the next meeting? Which would, are you gonna be around that, are you, when do you leave?
I'll be here for the March one, I will not be here for the April one.
Okay. So I will contact him tomorrow and schedule him for the March meeting. And everybody do the required homework, because I get yelled at today. Not doing my homework.
I didn't know one. So again, just quickly, what approach are we gonna take? I mean, we kind of talked about it. We did the survey.
Yep.
We talked about trying to get it from being not so wordy document. I guess the Conservation Commission is on that same path with the natural resource section. I mean, it seems like someone should almost make a rough draft to start with, or are we gonna go page by page, paragraph by paragraph, or I just, just need to know what kind of approach and,
I thought that's what Gary was doing.
Yeah, well,
well, yeah,
That's why we've now got Bruce.
we don't have that anymore.
Larry?
yeah, would you be willing to indulge me for about 3 to 5 minutes? What I did is I went through this, and just in your mind, you can draw a complete line through page 3.
What did you go through, Larry?
I went over.
First
I went
draft?
through the first draft.
The introduction completely
This one
removed
here?
the
Yep.
introduction.
Okay.
That all you need to say is one word, introduction. Go over to page 4. You can keep vision section. Cross out the first paragraph. Start the second paragraph as follows. In 2004, the vision of Milton was to be, quote, a quality residential, et cetera, et cetera. Next paragraph down. Today, the town of Milton looks toward these same goals. It is fortunate to have blah, blah, blah. Milton also, next paragraph, has a potential for growth. Of course, if it's managed properly, strike that out. Third line, our present goals for economic growth have been developed as a result of community surveys and citizens forums. That paragraph continues. Next paragraph, these goals and perspectives complement, with an E, the Stratford Regional Planning Commission's vision for the future. Keep that indented paragraph. Cross out regional plan. Continue paragraph 2012-2013. Go over to page 5. Take that graph, put it in the index. The paragraph goes past planning documents and forum, da-di-da-di-da-di-da. See index for these graphs and charts. Bottom of page 5, where it has the bold type. Today, the town of Milton continues to maintain 2 New England-style village centers, Milton Mills and Milton. We don't have one. Milton Mills actually comes closer to being a New England village than anything else we
Downtown,
have.
I'm sure, absolutely.
That preserve and maintain the town's historic and rural character while encouraging planned economic development which complements, with an E, the town's natural resources and environment, period, end of sentence. Over to page 6. Land use, graphs and charts will be found in an appendix. Second paragraph on page 6. In brief, for the 100-year period, that paragraph ends with growth. You take that chart for the population, you take the chart at the top of page 7, you take the chart at the bottom of page 7, you throw them all in the appendix. Go over to page 8.
Do we all agree that the charts should be updated with the 2015 numbers?
Well, we've got the charts are all there. We've got the 100-year projection from 2010 from 1910 to 2010. We've got the rising population through 2010. we've got the population projections from 2010 to 2050 or 2040. And then you've got on page 8, Milton population projections, and I have keep this one. And then you've got development trends, boom, 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 those arrows, those bullets. You've got the bullets on page 9. You've got the bullets on page 10. You drop the existing land use graph. And then at the beginning of page 11, we've lost about 3 pages of text so far.
Yep.
We've got summary conclusions, okay? Milton has 4 distinct areas. Milton Village, 3 ponds, the village of Milton Mills, which is why I changed the earlier one. And then we have general policy planning goals. And on page,
Okay, the general policy plan goals.
yeah, they're fine, up through 14. And then you have summary recommendations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that uses practically everything that Jerry did for us. It gets rid of using all that space for the graphs and throws it into the appendix, tightens the narrative, and makes you ready for the next summary on I'm sorry, Eric, what are you working on? The water?
Natural resources.
Natural resources. So anyway, that's what I did. It is in my writing, so it may or may not be legible. But what I tried to do is tie it into the past master plan, to the community surveys we had, to the statistical information that Stratford Regional had, and population trends for Milton itself, which are more important to us than for Barnstead or Newmarket.
What about attachment A?
Attachment A is that's all the appendix. Everything going in the appendix. So.
I agree with the simplicity and the statements. The only issue I take with it at all is that we shouldn't be adopting a master plan in 2016 that we're projecting the population in 2015. I mean,
No, I think we had.
I think we need to, we can't project it. We know what it is.
If we don't know what it is, we have to.
We could just, we're 2016, we're looking ahead. I really think a couple of them things that actual number, we should just be plugging in. But other than that, the simplicity and the statements and the taking the verbiage out, and it definitely sounds good to me.
And Mr. Bordeaux told me to do that once.
No.
And again, I think that's what we needed from the get-go in all the conversations was, I think we all felt that. It just was who was gonna
Right.
take the bull by the horns and do that first draft. And it looked like Larry did.
Do you want me to borrow Larry's copy with his notes and edit it to be what Larry has suggested for next meeting?
Absolutely.
If Larry will share.
Larry's brain is also available.
Okay, yeah, we can work together, Larry.
But there is, in these charts section as well, though, there is a stronger county flavor, which looks more southerly than where we are. Population growth would be a significant one of those.
Right.
Okay. It says the rate of home ownership has declined, and we don't have any evidence of that. The only way that would happen would be with much higher growth than we have. Okay, since we don't have any growth, you're mixing up total numbers and statistics and percentage.
Right, I mean, again, the
Yeah.
projections that they did were projections they did in 2004, 11 years
Right.
ago, 12 years ago. You know, by plugging in the 2015 actual number, we'll be able to see how well their projections were.
Well, I think what we'll also be able to see, though, is a flattening curve. This is a pretty, now obviously there's a horizontal and vertical magnification. But that's a steep curve. It doesn't seem to have been relevant for the last 10 years.
Well, I think when you look at them, you look at the Milton one and the Stratford one, and the one thing you're seeing is that even though they might be off a little bit, they're basically both showing the same type of curve. I think that's what they're kind of getting at. But,
Right.
I think it'd be nice to plug in our real Milton numbers.
Right. I mean, we got a lot of houses out there right now for sale. A lot of houses. A lot of them are vacant.
I think if we take this and can get it down to manageable size, then and everyone gets a copy of it, then we can work on paragraph to paragraph to paragraph and some of the minor tweaks.
Right. And we certainly couldn't do that with the previous one.
No, no.
Long-term issues. Foster's, no one would ever argue with Foster's. They have seacoast real estate sales moving up. We don't have foreclosure and number of properties for sale in Milton. When Wakefield did their disaffiliation, their income for Milton is close to $60,000 per household, compared to, I think, 45 for Wakefield, or possibly 45 for Farmington. So Wakefield sees us as better off than we actually are, because our free and reduced lunches are still running about 45%. The other thing that's should come out of the land use that's not here is the effect of empty industrial and office space in the Rochester area. The continuation of development going out Route 11 into the west end of Rochester and beginning of Farmington, with the what was that big company? Not Davidson Rubber. Who took over after Davidson Rubber? Textron.
Was Textron over there?
Somebody. Anyway, there's industrial land there that is flat and open, and the major retail powerhouse are going in there with a new, they've probably with a new market basket, and Tractor Supply is there. Walmart is already there. The shoe stores and the tire companies and the more automotive are going in that direction. Nobody has talked about us being the new Dover, that is the residential community for the people who are coming to work in Granite Ridge and that other area of development. Because if you look at how we're still pushed in by the river, we're still pushed in by 125 and the mountain, and we have the two blocks of developable land at 17 and 18, and we're limited by infrastructure. So that means we're still going to be a bedroom community, and the wonderful infilling. I think we really lucked out when we changed the zoning to bring in Dunkin' Donuts, because that seems to have been the first domino of getting some changes. And that should be in the master plan, and it shouldn't be me doing it because people think I'm bad-mouthing our business community. But, you know.
We have to blame it on somebody.
Yeah,
Larry.
yeah, but no, they have done
Yeah.
wonderful things. I mean,
Yeah.
the fence that Danny Busukius
Yeah.
put in for Larish, beautiful.
Yep.
And, you know, things like that.
With the foreclosures and the town-owned properties, that has increased. And we're talking today, Dan, what was Kathy saying, that there's 3 or 4 more coming up?
There might be, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, we're not gaining anything, we're losing. And it's been that way, I think the last time I did a count at the mobile home park, I bet you it was 30 vacant lots.
Okay.
And they're just taking them off and doing nothing with them.
Now, you want more far out, future planning, for the town to realize what a transformation to a cooperatively owned residential mobile home community, Pineland Park could be, with its access to the Spalding, with its access to recreation on Milton Three Palms.
And not too many years ago, the owner of that community wanted to expand it.
Right.
And now it's not even on the table anymore. They don't even want to discuss it. And it's Willie Road. I bet you there's 3, maybe 4 houses right now vacant. But we're not gaining population that this chart says we are.
No, and I think, Milton's faced with school issues and tax issues and a lot of unfavorable things that until they get resolved,
Yeah.
we're not a favorable town to move into right now.
Oh, I was talking with the fire chief today, and he went on Zillow, which is a housing site. They had 5 new houses in Grandview for sale. Haven't seen a permit. They had to read down, was it in the future? And they're all over $200,000 homes.
So I'm all spec, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, and another major area for the planning board to plan on is accessory use apartment. Because the McMansions are going. Population and general trends moving back closer to cities. Large homes with transitional insulation values. And grandma's getting older.
Yep.
I, of course, am staying 18.
120?
What month were you born?
I think we should though update the population, these graphs. That really,
I am your seed.
that doesn't seem right. We gained 300 people since 2010.
Yeah, I just don't think we can adopt something in 2016 that we're projecting that aren't real numbers from a year prior. It just sounds like we can do our work.
Yep.
Very easy to
Where did the numbers come from?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Where did the numbers come from?
Probably census.
There were
These would be-
guesses in 2004, were they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's, Stratford Regional projections probably back in 2004.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be curious to
Probably
fill
the
in
only,
the
the only
real
numbers that are worth
and-
anything are the 2004 and earlier. The rest of them are all.
Yeah.
Be very easy to take care of.
So I hate to leave you
School
guys without an
population
audience, but I
chart
got called.
might,
What's that?
be
I got called
useful
back
as
to
well.
work, so. Leave you guys-
Drive careful. It ain't pretty out there tonight.
Yeah, it's not cold at least.
I think you did a good job, Larry.
On Chula right now, there's 9 houses right at the start, all reduced for sale. Prices all reduced. 189 reduced, 187 reduced, 87 reduced, 99 reduced.
Yep.
There's 3 by me that are unoccupied. They just said, see, you can have it.
And then one of the key,
What that's telling us is they've had enough. You know, but I mean,
our tax base is not good either, and that's probably the reason
that's
everybody's reducing.
exactly why.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that gets us started with the vision and stuff, then we're gonna do the same thing with the actual master plan itself?
Yeah, I think we can get Bruce here next meeting and get his input. I mean, he is a member of the town, so he knows what's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah. His house comes to us courtesy of the first meltdown.
Yeah.
Also, Bruce is, I don't really want to know, even though it's a possible topic for the master plan, what the Dahlia Society projections are for the flower market in Milton. And Bruce is very good for need this, forget that, need this,
Yeah.
forget that, because one of the neat things that Jerry said and what we tried to do last time around was we need the land use and vision.
Mhm.
Thank you. Now,
And
did
we
you want
need-
fries with that?
Yep. And I think Bruce will give us a good insight to what it should be. Of course, we haven't got the tax base in Molten Borough's got.
And they're just. I will not speak ill of a fellow town.
Oh, I don't. Envious.
Waltonboro has an excellent tax base.
Yes. Their puddle's bigger than ours.
Yeah, you get that right.
Their kids go to school, a public school, a private school education.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Is there anything more on the master plan update?
Okay, we're gonna wait for Bruce before we continue.
I would like to, yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
We can realistically have this draft done, and we'll
Yep.
all have that prior to the next
Yep.
month's meeting?
I can send it out to you before the meeting if you want.
Because we're pretty short, I mean, we're already in the 3rd week now.
We can get it done.
Okay, that'd be good, then we've got just 2 things to tackle. Sounds good?
And the next is the CIP discussion. And again, that was something we got into last time and didn't do it right. And we're gonna, I think, get some decent direction again with Bruce on the CIP. I think Molten Borough's got the plan.
Where's our department heads in that?
I talked to the fire chief today, I'll see the police chief tomorrow, and they're all on board to come to any meeting we have.
They were, the way I understood it, because again, we spent a lot of time as a planning board, and it went nowhere.
Right.
I was kinda hoping, or at least they made me believe that they were spearheading this and gonna drop in our lap a pretty finished
That was in June.
plan for us to more or less approve rather than do the whole thing
They hit
over again.
that stone wall.
Hit that same stone wall that you always hit when you do them CIPs.
Right. And they have not had the real direction, because it's all new to everybody. And again, this is why hopefully by bringing Bruce on board, he's done CIP programs in Molten Borough or wherever. And he'll give us direction as to how to continue with it.
Again, my biggest issue, and one of the reasons I was against the planning board taking that task on,
Yeah.
is if we take that task on and it isn't dropped in our lap from the department heads, we all become budget committee members.
Yep.
And I don't want to be a budget committee member. And you know, we had two options. We could have formed a separate committee, half budget committee people, half planning board people, or it could get all dropped in the planning board's lap. And you know, it didn't sound too bad getting dropped in the planning board's lap, because the department heads were taking this and running with it. If they drop it in our lap, then we all become budget committee members again. And that was my discontent with it when it was brought up last June.
I think,
No, that's when they were supposed to come back and tell us what their CIPs were. That was all last spring we
Yep.
were
Right.
going through that.
You know, yeah, again,
Except
just
the schools, of course, which.
right. Again, and maybe Bruce can help us with that, but again, I can just see us all becoming budget committee members again.
I'd like to see, I think that the superintendent of schools should be involved, since 3/4 of
So
your budget.
where's that
goes
going?
to
Did
schools.
Wakefield break off on you?
You'll know in March,
Yeah, it's become up for vote.
60% of the population of Wakefield have to vote in favor.
3/5.
3/5.
Voting, are those that vote or the overall
Those
population?
people who vote, yes.
Registered.
So they only need, you know, if they're.
So they got
yeah,
5 voters
only
and
need
3 vote
500
that
people
way.
And they're good.
60% of the voting population, whoever votes, yes. And there's the big situation is that they pay 57% of the expense. That's the big, and we pay 43% of the supervisory union budget. That's the big issue.
Wakefield hasn't got along with us ever. They're gonna vote that in sure as hell.
Well, they used to get along before 1960.
Yeah.
Well, this
Before
one I tried,
1960, the
it's a
Wakefield kids went to
$1,000
Way
raise over
back.
the course of 3 years, 3% every year.
We would've had a regional school
Wasn't for them.
15, 20 years ago if it weren't for them, so.
Yep.
about 20 years ago, Carl offered to donate money.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's when we were ready to go with it.
And Wakefield said no. They didn't want their kids being educated with the main school district, and school main,
Is that before or after they started sending their kids to another town?
well, they've always, yeah. That was sad, that was really blown bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
That, and we're paying for that dearly today.
Yep.
Dearly.
I was really amazed. The school budget in the last 4 years has gone up like between 20 and 25%.
All those backdoor warrant article tax increases.
It's most of them.
There's
The
people
school
running a $10 million budget that don't know how to balance a $100 checking account.
You can't. There's
Did I say that?
There's
You
no
get
fat
back
on
to
it.
it in 50,000.
There's no fat on it. There's no way that we can cut. I thought that we could cut, but we can't. There's no
The-
fat. Special education takes a big chunk out of it.
Mr. Brown?
One of the interesting going through the state legislature, I expect you would do the same thing to me, so fair is fair, is an idea that the STEM money, the science, technology, engineering, and math, should come from the general fund rather than the state education tax, which oddly enough is coming from our left pocket back into our right pocket, from which it is then taken out. And that would be a change if it ever comes through. And we're still locked in the refusal to put the medical costs of children who, if they were living on a desert island without a school district, would still have those medical costs under medical costs coming out of either Medicaid expansion, or a fully statewide health insurance system rather than becoming the property of the school district for medical costs. That's another killer.
It hasn't helped our town at all. School has not helped this town at all.
School in any town doesn't help the town.
No. Out of curiosity, how many kids in the high school?
There are approximately 600 students in the whole district. Now, you're talking about the junior high?
I'm talking
Just the high school?
9 through 12.
About 10 through 12?
Yeah.
About 100, 10 through 12, you mean 2 grades, about 100.
9
Let's
to
say
12.
9 through 12, 4 grades.
You get about 50 kids per grade.
And what's it take? I've heard it takes up to 500, different high schools, 500 to break even, 500 students.
To break even with the programs, okay?
Right.
To have, this high school isn't even approved by the state, okay?
Chances are it never will be.
I mean, to have adequate education, you need minimum of 500 students, yes.
So
Answer your question.
in essence, we're paying teachers to educate 200 kids.
Yeah.
And they're qualified to educate up to 500. And that's basically the bottom line.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
your
insane.
bottom line is special needs. When
Yeah.
you have a 1-to-1 ratio, student-teacher ratio, you have like 20, no, you have a good 20 support staff teachers on a 1-to-1 basis in the school system. And that, even though they're not paid very much, it adds up very, very quickly. As I said, about 1/4 of your school budget goes to special needs. I mean, and there's nothing we can do about it because we're controlled, the town is controlled by state and federal statute. I mean, maybe Mr. Gray can change it.
I think when the state mandates it or the feds mandate it, they ought to pay for it.
I agree.
Well, the feds, in actuality, when we went through equal education, they were supposed to fund up to like 30 or 40% of it, and I don't think they'd give 10.
40.
40%, yeah.
40. Next year, 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about the 60? Well, 40. That I think I am right that one of the problems of accreditation has nothing to do with the staff, but with the classroom size. That old Newt, because the rooms are 20 by 20 rather than 25 by 30, they cannot meet accreditation standards, even though the teacher is giving it a good shot and the kids are
So the
working.
accreditation standard is based on a room size and not
Yeah,
population?
yeah. The accreditation.
That does not really fit well.
Hey,
No, not only that, there are a lot of things
Do-
wrong.
do
with the
not
building.
do not shoot messengers.
There's a study which the school did last year called the Harriman Report. You're computer literate? Look it up. Harriman Report.
Yeah.
Between 5 to 6 mil to fix the buildings.
Yeah, I think I went through that school once. As a health officer in building inspector,
Oh.
it scared me so bad, they brought 2 other guys in to go through the building with me, because I couldn't believe it. The art department in the basement, you couldn't even open the exit door to get out of there.
Well, not only that, every time it rains, it floods.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of the patio. They never put any drainage in for the patio.
I wanted them to, seriously, to, down in New York State, there's the town of Highland, which has a gravity feed water system. They drilled horizontal into the mountain. Horizontal to the bottom of the basement, drain it out. Another problem is the acreage available per number of students for a facility. It's not just teachers and books. The accreditation is a whole global thing. But back to the CIP.
Back to the planning board meeting.
Well, this is
It's all part of education, it's all part of it.
This is
why we
planning.
can't
It's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
what's the future?
It's tuitioning.
You're not gonna save money in tuition.
I didn't say, you said, what's the future, not,
Oh.
not how do we save money?
See, I looked into it.
Oh, yeah, no,
That,
Geriatrics.
I looked
Just get rid
That's
of all the
a,
kids in town.
that, you become a cash cow for
oh.
another school.
And one of the things that Stratford Regional did for us when they were being kind to their executive chair is they put together a circle map for the schools in Barrington, Dover, Somersworth, Wakefield, Farmington, and Milton. And we worked out transportation times for students to get to them. And you get your 24 credits in transportation.
Yeah.
But for the CIP,
Yep.
will Bruce be working on that?
Yes.
Okay. Can we get a template? Because if you look at the big print, all it says is figure out what the cost of your capital improvements are, put a dollar amount on them, assign them out to the different departments, come up with a projected figure, run it out for 6 years. Thank you very much for shopping Kmart.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's the big trick, is putting a dollar amount, then you become budget. You know, what if one person, Peter over there thinks we ought to have a $3 million fire station, but I only think we should have $1.5 million. How do you work a CIP when you're $1.5 million off?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys, I have their most recent draft that the department heads have put together. I can send that out to you guys. Circulate that
Yep.
to see where they're thinking.
Well, we might, depend on the date on that, we might already have it. Because they gave us a draft.
I was here when they did this one.
That was
But
a
they
long
give us
time
was
ago.
really, really early on.
That was a long time ago, Pete.
Ah, okay.
Because I
So we've been working this longer than we thought.
Yeah, we have.
Right. Yeah, you turn around and it's Valentine's Day again.
Yeah.
I don't, you see Nick's
Understand? Good luck.
handout breaking down cost.
Yeah, I can.
It's fairly reasonable. If he keeps focused on that, not the cost of the building,
Yeah.
that will help, because it's, I think it, what, $200 a house in that vicinity, a $200,000 home.
Problem is, I sat down with Nick and went through all the plans and the stuff, and the
Okay.
$500,000 worth of fees.
I can send that to you guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
So
you know, it's
the
like,
school's
oh my
problem with
God,
getting
you know, I understand.
accreditation is the
You know, it is what
facility
it
and
is
the
today,
land.
but
Oh, yeah, and it's all.
Because we know
most of
that
it's
they turn
mandated.
out good students.
Do you, yeah,
I mean,
I
we
mean,
got a high percentage of the kids coming out here going to college.
Believe it or not, this year, so far, no dropouts.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah.
School's got a good record as far as
And-
academics.
And they've got AP placements, they've got college credit that you can take right at the school. And if you are really behind the 8 ball financially, there's even some money available to cut the cost of that. And so you can buy college credits, like, what was it, like $150 for a 3-credit course. If you do the work. And you can transfer it. So things are not as bad as they.
You're talking college students going to college.
Talking about high school taking college credits.
Right. How many kids do you think are college bound?
Well, last year they had, goodness, I think 15 students who went to Plymouth.
Yeah.
I do know
Yeah.
that.
What about the kids that aren't gonna make it to college? They've got nothing up there.
The summers, well, they,
There's nobody can work with these
They
at
have
that school.
They have vocational programs
Right.
whereby students can attend other schools in the area to go to their vocational programs.
Yeah.
They go to Rochester, to Dover, to Somersworth, they have transportation all over the place for students. They work very well with students.
The shipyard's reaching out, it's starting to reach out more and more because what they've always had for years, that they push towards 4-year colleges. And the VOTEC, all those kids fit right in line with the shipyard.
Yep.
And we're 80,000 man hours under again this year. It's only going to continue to get worse. So there's local jobs, it's just a matter of getting them out to the job fairs and the schools, asking them down the back to come out, he'll come out and talk to your students.
They
And-
also have a work program. They
Yes.
have a person who coordinates about 40, 50 kids outside of school for
Yeah.
working. They're doing a good job. The state rating is way down though.
Mhm.
But as a parent, when you look at a town, when you're gonna move your children, your family into it, what do you look at? What the town tells you, what the state tells you they get.
That's right.
And that's, well,
I can't put my family at a, leap of faith, because the town officials tell me it's a really good deal when the state tells me it's not.
Well, you have some excellent programs,
Right.
and you have an excellent superintendent, and I'm afraid that, when Wakefield moves on, then town won't be able to afford a full-time superintendent anymore. So,
that's for sure.
Right now, you have an excellent superintendent.
And we're gonna be net losers if Dover wins this lawsuit too.
Yeah.
So, unless the legislature steps up and,
Where are they gonna get the money?
back to the CIP. So we're going to, Dana is going to, would you send out a copy of that to my capable executive staff?
Being Susan.
sfb@metrocast.org.
I have it. Are you sure? Are you
Yeah.
ready for this?
I'm still
I've
trying
heard
to-
rumors.
trying to get introduced to the Chromebook, and it's tough sledding. But that way, she has a printer,
Okay.
and that way I can look at a hard copy. Because if we can get Bruce,
Yeah.
and we can get a template.
That's
So-
one of the questions I've got for tomorrow when I email
Yeah,
him.
a template and plug in, and for the budget committee, the number of, I think we had close to 30, if not 30 warrants one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to buy a box of paper clips and they put it in on a separate warrant.
Yeah.
So but this year and last year, the warrants ran about 500,000, and
Yep.
the number was
Extremely low, yeah.
And what the CIP was trying to say when they first started was, if you can bring it in level at 500,000 every year,
Yep.
you can pull it off. So,
Be curious to see what their stumbling block was. Because they were all
Well, what happened?
gun ho and, just really
Yeah.
surprised it ain't done.
We had 3 or 4 different people come in and talk to us as a group, and everybody had a different program.
Right.
And they're going, well, which going to work? Well, this works here, but didn't work here. They need one person to sit down and say, this is the direction you got to go in. They actually had too much advice. And they didn't want it to go the way the last one did, south. I talked to Fire Chief today, and he was all for Bruce coming in on it. And I think you'll
Yeah.
find a police chief
and
will also.
since we are the official CIP committee, right?
Yep.
Give them a direction.
And you are our glorious chairman.
Yeah, yeah, and a department head.
What are you trying to say, Larry?
No, humor aside, you have friends on all sides of the street.
Mm-hmm.
So popular.
And if you bringing us along have one direction to go,
Yep.
it will be on paper, it will be official, and it will be adopted.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that somebody doesn't like the type size and they don't like the font, that's next year's problem. So I think, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
You know, we could, at the next meeting, I don't know if any, what's on the agenda, but if we have nothing, I would have no problem inviting in the department heads to come in and sit and talk with Bruce, all of us together. That might be the way to do it, because I know that they'll all show up.
I haven't seen him for a while, it'd be good to see him again.
What's that?
I haven't seen him for a while.
Department heads?
Yeah.
Will it be after the election or before the election?
Before.
Oh, I won't see him again unless I
Okay,
come
so
to visit.
they'll be happy to talk to us.
You can always be, you can always be.
All the
an alternate.
budgets won't have got smashed yet.
You can always be an alternate, you know.
I get set up for this. Missed the deadline.
What's your name tonight?
I don't know. Who am I tonight?
Who are you tonight?
Tom.
Tom Gray.
Oh, Tom Gray.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Except you can't be Tom. You can be Bob, though.
Any more discussion on the discussion?
Just one other thing.
Sure.
Down here at Commerce, the man who came in last time who owns the facility, Commerce Way, up exit 17,
Yep.
the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Has anything transpired on that one?
Oh, yeah, they gave him a junkyard. GBA granted him 12 cars.
Are you kidding me?
Dead serious. And one or more unregistered cars is classified as a junkyard. Now he has 12.
What is the rationale for that?
I give up.
It's easier to enforce.
Can you send me the minutes of that meeting?
Yep.
Man.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I just regurgitated twice and
Okay.
walked away.
I can give you a copy tonight.
I'd just like to read them. I just want to see the
Go home, keep the
rationale.
dog.
12. 12.
He has more than that, doesn't he?
Huh?
He has more than 12.
I don't even bother counting anymore. I had it down to 3 to 5. Now he's up to, they allow him 12. But again, that's just ZBA. But
No.
state statute says anything more than 2 unregistered vehicles is a junkyard.
That, or vehicles which are not intended for the road. That is the weasel part of that statute. I think I'm right.
Yep.
So if they are intended for the road, they are not a junkyard.
How the hell do
I
you
can-
police that?
Who makes the determination whether they're roadworthy or not? That's the whole
That-
thing.
Do you want a brief 25 words or less? For the
If you can do it, I'll listen.
Give me 26. Salvage something.
Yep.
Okay. Keep some tax money coming. Block one more used car lot. And give a bum a break.
Yeah.
So it's set up that it's primarily internal, behind the pretty buildings, not for sale roadside. 26?
Not bad.
Is he
And
claiming to
He's
be
tapping the store.
restoring
Good.
them?
these are, may I
Yeah.
respond to
Sure.
to Mr. Gray's question? That this is supposed to be internal shop work.
Yeah.
And he has, it's a rabbit warren operation. There are 3, 4, 5 bays, and there are 3 or so guys who are basically paying rent. One guy is from Colony, and they're specializing in resurrecting good salvage cars. And my...
4 or 5 TV shows about that stuff right now.
But you see, when this all came down, if you read the minutes, the only place that was granted any kind of auto repair work there was one building. They just gave them carte blanche for all those buildings in the back now to do more automotive work.
Each base
Where
owned by
the original
somebody
was that one building, that one running parallel.
It also is, it is a self-extinguishing exception. It does not run forever.
Really?
Really.
As long as the price of steel is down, it'll run forever.
How does it distinguish itself?
Do we pay taxes?
Bob does, they don't.
That, yeah.
It's a question.
Okay, any other business? The Spring Planning and Zoning Conference, April 23rd. Save this date. Office of Energy and Planning, Courtyard Marriott, Grappone Conference Center. Registration opens February 22nd, 2016. If anybody's interested, we do have the money to go.
We have money to go on a field trip?
Yeah.
Only here on the board.
I won't be able to go, I won't be on the board at that point. Damn it, I missed the field trip.
And then we've got an minimum impact permit. Do not include new construction of dams, dikes, water withdrawal or diversion projects require filling wetlands or surface waters. Looks like a reprint.
Might be.
And this is 19 Governors Road, Milton, man-made pond. That's gonna be old Judge Newt's pond. He must be dredging that.
Oh, is that the one with Phragmites?
Pardon?
Newt's Pond, I
Yeah, that's
think,
gotta
has
be-
Phragmites.
It wasn't it Jeffrey?
Pardon?
Didn't Jeffrey put in that request?
Jonathan.
I'm sorry, Jonathan.
If it's the one, there's one on Newt's Road that has Phragmites that they have to take care of. It could be about that.
He used to run fishing derbies out of that for the town. He counted every fish that come out of there.
Yeah.
And whatever we put in, say 500, they only caught 400. He wrote a check back to the town for those 100 trout still in the pond every year. Now for number 6, the end.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Say goodnight.
Night.
So-
You didn't have to use it tonight.
No.
You stole his thunder.
The public
Exactly.
was extremely quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Joseph, Robert, are you with us next meeting? One more time?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not
I'm
done
here
yet.
for 2 more years.
He's here for 2 years.
They
So
gave-
I didn't sign up
Dana
because he
gave
was
us the
done.
wrong people. I'll
Oh,
blame it on Dana.
Okay.
Thanks, Dana. If you wanted to run
It's
me
not
out,
my
you just
fault
had to
you
tell me.
didn't remember.
Oh,
your
don't
line.
worry, we've got write-in cards all printed up for you.
I'm stuck here another
You ain't coming out of this as early, easy.
you should talk to
You can stop now.
Archer about the good things that I said about you.